Hi, I'm back. Thank you guys. Share the feed. Let's get some more peeps in here. Periscope, you gotta do me right this time. You gotta do me right. All right, CodySperber, the Clever Investor, is back, and we've been talking for the last 25 minutes or so about how to break into the club, aka the good old boy or good old girls club. Now, what I found is there is a strategic, real-life cheat code that you can do in order to break into the club. And we talked about the 7 main categories: third-party endorsements, frame control, likability, appearance, credibility, popularity, and storytelling. And we've been kind of going through each one, all right? So we're going to pick up where we left off. We're now starting to talk about appearance, okay? And for those of you that are just joining us, if you want to learn more about me and my business, grab my free ebook. It teaches you how to flip houses with no money down at cleverinvestor.com/periscope. All right, cleverinvestor.com/periscope. All right, so lots of hearts. Lots of hearts. Here we go. So when we talk about appearance, okay, what's going to help with an appearance, right? Obviously, if you're pretty, right? Pretty works. Pretty gets you into the club. Can pretty have a negative thing, though? Because, let's say, you know, like Zoolander, you're a model, right? You're a model, but everybody thinks that you're kind of dumb, right? So, you know, not all the times does pretty work by itself. You have to know how to use pretty to your advantage, right? On the opposite side of pretty is the people that aren't so pretty, okay? AKA this guy, and I don't know if you've seen me in after high school and just going into the Navy. I had round, nerdy glasses. I didn't dress cool. I wore baggy, oversized clothes. I looked like I was 15. I was a hot mess, all right? The opposite also can work really well, which is the underdog appearance, okay? And that was me. People like people that they can relate to, so it was easier for me to go the underdog appearance route because I wasn't cutting the mustard with the pretty route, all right? Obviously, if you're going to play the underdog role, you got to understand how to speak the underdog language, right? Being very humble, talking a lot about, you know, the struggle to get to where you want to go, but at the same time, letting people know that you're not going to give up for anything until you get there, and then getting other people to root for you based on the fact that you're already likable. So there's kind of 2 other things with appearance that you need to be aware of. One is called a pattern interrupt. All right, and the other one is no pattern interrupt. When I walk into an area, okay, that has a lot of people that are like at that next level, right? They're killing it. If they're all dressed in suits, every single one of them is dressed in a suit, I might roll up into that meeting in shorts and flip-flops, okay? With a shirt that says, you know, whatever message I want to share. Or I might have a picture of myself on the shirt. All right? Okay? That would be a pattern interrupt, right? That would be, okay, you're scanning the room and you're like, everybody looks the same, they're all bankers, blah, blah, blah. Who is that guy? And what's his deal? All right? So that's if you want to strategically, okay, stand out your appearance, okay? The other one is no pattern interrupt, and that means you blend your butt in. All right, dressing is really, really important, okay, in order to break into the good old boys club. You've got to make a conscious decision based on the tonality and the overall feeling of that club that you're trying to break into, of whether or not a pattern interrupt or no pattern interrupt is a better choice. All right? So who you dress. So who you dress. I don't get it. So how would you dress? Well, it would depend on the situation. If I'm trying to break into the high-end luxury real estate market, I'm going to dress my ass up, right? I'm going to dress my butt up. Even if I can't afford a $1,000 suit, I'm going to look like my suit costs $1,000. I'm going to get a nice cheap suit, and I'm going to dress it up, and I'm going to wear it with some pride, and I'm going to shine my shoes, and I'm going to walk into that meeting like I own the joint, right? It's important that you look at your avatar and you try to attack the avatar, right? That's what we're always doing. All right, always dress up if you're going for the high-end luxury market. If I'm trying to get cash buyers for my business and I'm at a networking event, there's a bunch of rich doctors in the room and they're all wearing suits, and I walk in with shorts, flip-flops, and a shirt that says, I sell houses to doctors for pennies on the dollar. I did a pattern interrupt, and everybody's going to be like, oh, dang, I got to go talk to this guy. All right? You got to choose wisely what you're going to do. Let's talk about credibility. Credentials. Okay, I'm going to move kind of fast through some of this. Credentials. Everybody wants to see credentials, right? The more credentials you have, the better your chances of breaking into the good old boy club. All right? How can you get some credibility? What are some things you can do? You can start a podcast. You can self-publish a book. Right? There's a lot of things that you can do. Okay. What about you can write a book. Create a kick-butt website. Okay, so I started off as a direct response marketer. So with Clever Investor, I paid $2,500 for our current website. It's a cheap website. It did its job for the first few years. I just dropped $25,000 to build our new corporate site, which is going to go live here in a few weeks. And the reason I did that is because it's time for us to move up to the next level of credibility, right? We gotta. That's the front end of our brand. So we're bringing in the heavy hitters and we're building this amazing, badass corporate website. So, it's like little things like this. Write a book. Anybody, you can even get somebody else to write your book for $1,000 or whatever. Get some writer to write a book about whatever topic you want to dominate in, and they'll ghostwrite the book for you. I mean, it's not that hard, right? This is all credibility things. You can get people to endorse you on LinkedIn. That's another good one. All right? What about media interviews? If you started putting out press releases about whatever you're an expert in, or you started networking with the local news anchors, and like if I'm a real estate agent, I could constantly be hitting them up. Hey, if you need anybody to be a special guest as an expert in real estate, let me know. And then all of a sudden one day their normal guy is sick and they need somebody on the fly, and they're like, oh, Cody's called 5,000 times. I'll ask Cody. And then now you got your shot, right? So I mean, you never know where that stuff can take you, but you got to get out in front of it if you want to build the credibility. Somebody said $25,000 is too much for a website. How much do you think, Zillow.com invested in their website? I mean, it's all relative, right? I guess it's depending on what I get out of that $25,000 and what it does for me. But I make $25,000 every 4 hours, so it doesn't bother me to spend some money on a website. So don't worry about what I'm spending on my website. Just go to the website, sign up, and buy some shit. And I move on. I digress. All right, what about popularity? Okay, what about popularity? Sometimes I do things that I'm just like, why did I just say that out loud? You ever have that internal thing where you just want to like tell somebody how it is, but 99% of the time you're walking through life and you're holding back, and you're like, oh, why did I pay 25? Yeah, you're right, buddy. I don't know your opinion. thanks, dude. You know, but inside you just want to like rip their head off and I don't know. It's like, what is going on? Everybody is too politically correct nowadays. All right. Popularity. Okay. Popularity, social media following. Nowadays, a great way to build credibility and have popularity, and you can buy your way in as a social media following. Now, here's the thing with social media, and a lot of people don't understand this. And I'll just use my personal story. You know, I showed up on Instagram. I have 0 followers. My initial thing was to find out who the influencers were on Instagram and model my Instagram page off of what they were doing. So you find guys like Mill Mentor and Agent Steven and Andy Frisella and all these guys that have big Instagram followings in the motivation, mindset, entrepreneur, business space. And there's a bunch of them. And what you start seeing is they're all like endorsing each other, right? They're all doing these third-party endorsements. And on Instagram, they call them shout-outs, right? Or on social media, they call them shout-outs. And you're like, this guy shouts this guy out, and then this guy shouts this guy out, and everybody's shouting each other out. And it's kind of like what we do, okay, in the education space. And this is why Guru's got such a bad name, is because everybody was promoting each other's courses and stuff, and this one's better, and then the next week this one's better, and your people on your email list are getting confused because they're like, well, you just told me last week that one's better. Why now is this one better than the one last one? And, and it becomes confusing, all right? So these endorsements need to be used in the right way, but like if you want to build a social media following, you can go to guys like Millionaire Mentor, okay, Jason Stone, and you can buy a shout out. And for $100 or a few $100, whatever they charge, okay, they'll shout you out. And all of a sudden you have 500 or 1,000 new followers. Well, you get shouted out enough times, right? That's a business on Instagram. They'll shout you out. All of a sudden you have 100,000 followers and people go, oh, this person's super popular. And then what was being created through buying shout-outs on the front end all of a sudden starts snowballing into the real deal, and you really become popular. It's kind of a fake it till you make it type strategy. So you can manufacture this. Don't think you can't. It doesn't cost that much money either if you build the right relationships. Okay? What about videos? Okay, you guys see my YouTube videos and the Clever Investor channel. What about a podcast? That's a great way to build your popularity out there. Write this book, right? Get a #1 book. Okay? All right, so the last thing is storytelling. Now, the art of storytelling takes a lot of time, and I found that the best way to become a good storyteller is to read a lot. That's the secret. You guys want to know the secret? It's really simple. Read a lot. Okay? Read a lot. Read a lot. And it's not about like writing a screenplay or writing a book or something like that. All right, so you got to remember that. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. It's really important that when you think about being a good storyteller, you got to have these little nuggets, these little one-liners. People love one-liners. What did I say the other day? I even surprised myself. Oh, this was a good one. This is such a good one. I pulled it out of my butt. We were talking about, in our office, we were talking about somebody not doing a very good job. Okay? And so, normally I sit there and I listen, and everybody's kind of telling me their opinion about what's going on here at Clever Investor. And I'm sitting there, and my word of wisdom, I said, you know what? Here's the thing that I've learned over the years. I've learned that you never learn the janitor's name until your trash is full. And unfortunately, we've just realized that we have overflowing garbage and we got to take it out ourselves. And when I said that, I looked around. I was really surprised that I even pulled that out of my butt. But it was like, boom! I looked around and every person in the circle was like, damn, that was wise, man. That was like some Yoda shit. And I don't know where it came from. I read it somewhere. I don't know where it came from. I just pulled it out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, everybody was like, man, Sperber's right. It's time to make a move and do something. So, you got to have this in your arsenal to be a good storyteller because, the thing that I try to do is always dumb it down to a simplified story format that people can understand. The avatar that I'm targeting can understand. And that's really important is you use examples. That everyone can understand. Super important. Super important. If you use examples that everybody can understand, they're going to be in the story with you. All right? And this one goes back, I'll use a Bible reference on this one. You got to find out who the Jesus is. You got to know who that avatar is. You got to understand who you're targeting with this story to make it super effective. All right? Who's Investor 01? What did I miss? He doesn't seem like he's hating right now because he knows the next time he types anything, he's out of here. So, how's he hating? Is he mad because I have a Lamborghini? Or a Rolls Royce? Or a hot wife? Like, why is he mad? Why is he mad? Because I'm sexy? He's mad because I'm rich. He's mad because I'm a good storyteller? That's fucked up. That's messed up, man. Don't hate, man. Congratulate. Congratulate. My stuff's too basic for him? Oh, dude. You know what I would love? I would love for a guy like that to get on Periscope, and so I can finally get on Periscope and learn something. Because that would be the greatest. Because, right now, I'm not, what did Drake say? I'm not even from around here, and I'm running shit around here. You know what I'm saying? So, please, jump on. I'll be the first one to listen. All right. He ain't here anymore. He left. All right. I'm going to tell you guys the most important one. This is the most important one. I'm going to leave you guys with this. All right. No, you know what? Actually, if you guys come back to my next scope, I'll share the final and most important one with you, okay? This is by far the most important one. You understand this one, and the whole thing gets pulled together, all right? So if you guys come back to my next scope, I'll teach you the one thing that's going to pull 100% of all this stuff together, all right? All right, guys. Appreciate you. You know I'm messing with you, right? You know I'm messing with you. This is the art of the open loop. Open loops, open loops, open loops, open loops. Say the word with me. Open loops, open loops. Okay? The art of the open loop is so important. An open loop, a simple open loop, is starting a story and then leaving them with a cliffhanger and saying, you come on back this Saturday and I'm going to fill in the rest of the story. Open loops, open loops, open loops. People who are good storytellers understand how to use an open loop. You start a story Then you pattern interrupt it, and so you're starting to tell the story, you pattern interrupt it, then you change directions for a little bit, and then you tie it back together towards the end and you close the loop. Right? This is a neuro-linguistic programming technique. Open loops constantly keep people wanting to come back for more. What better way to be a storyteller than to constantly keep people hanging on? Right? It's kind of like teasing, and you don't want to overuse it because then it becomes obvious that you're open looping, and then they're like, okay, you're weird. All right? Just get to the freaking point. All right? But if you do it in a way where they're kind of not seeing it coming, and all of a sudden, bang, you hit them with an open loop, they're like, oh, I'm right there with you, and then nothing right now. I got to wait. I got to come back. I got to get more. All right? Somebody said, I've been bamboozled. So, the thing that you guys got to understand is guys like Josh Altman, the people that have broken into the Good Old Boys Club, they realize it's not a factor of their marketing. They're not spending more money to get luxury listing clients. They're getting referrals, lots of them. If you talk to any rainmaker in your office, they are all getting a lot of referrals. 99% of their business is referral based. They're not spending money on marketing to generate the leads. They're spending a ton of money on marketing to market the properties, so that way they can get around the world and really do a good job marketing the properties. But this is happening. 7 main key factors, 28 or whatever this is, sub-factors, all blending together so that all of a sudden you're starting to become a badass. Right? You're starting to break into the club, and people around you are going, man, I don't know why, but I like this person. They're a great storyteller. He's kind of an underdog, but I'm rooting for him. He's got a lot of third-party endorsements. He smashed the frame. He makes me not want to, he aligned me with him because we picked a common enemy and we smashed that frame together. And he's very humble, and like all these, and he dresses the right part, and all these things start blending together. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? This is it. This is the model. And nobody teaches this because they're either too scared, okay? They're too scared that you're smart and you're going to get it. And all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, shit, now I see why Cody does what he does and how he does it. It's like, dude, this is it. That's the model. That's the model. Where else can you go to get this? And this is going to be like a 3 or 4 hour long training where I break down deep, tons of examples of frame control, tons of examples of this stuff. But for now, this is just me brain dumping on the fly. This is the sauce, the secret sauce, the real life cheat code. And I hope that you guys realize that when I come on Periscope, 95% of the time, it's not just to be goofy and dance and listen to music, right? There's not a lot of people that understand this and can teach this and is going to do it for free. All right? We got the best family in the world here on Periscope. So I appreciate you guys more than you know. We've had over, I got to go look. I mean, it might have been like 7 or 8 or 9,000 downloads of my book. All Periscope. That sucks. Dude, you didn't get here fast enough. I feel bad for you because we are officially finished. And, please, if you got some value out of this, please put up on the screen right now, okay? Put up on the screen right now the link to get my book so that every person watching this, I'll leave this replay up until like 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. You guys can watch it again for those of you that missed this for another couple hours and then it's gone. All right? So please put up, there it is, cleverinvestor.com/Periscope. Download the book. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. It's going to open up your mind, make you want to get into real estate investing. All right? Boom. All right, guys. Appreciate you. Until next time, I got to go. Take care. Comb your hair. This is CodySperber, Clever Investor, signing off.